So this is one of those houses that you are totally going to want to see on the inside, wishing you could take a tour. And luckily we can, because I met Cass on Instagram. Her and Chris own this beautiful home built in the 60s. They're going to tell you all about the architect and give us a house tour today. So let's go. So you're MidModCass on Instagram. I found you through all of the content you post about your house. I know you bought this house and it looked a lot more beige, gray, white. You've now made it what it is.
It's funny because we moved here and I immediately was like, I need to paint that door yellow. As you could tell, I love the 60s, and it started before I owned this house. The architect of the home is Richard Pagani. He was local. The build started in 1958 and then it finished in 1960. It's a flat roof house that a lot of people think is new because it almost resembles like a shipping container house. I like to say it's a raised bungalow with style. So you'll see a lot of my own artwork in the house just because it's cheap to paint your own. But this one I painted probably like 6 or 7 years ago, and it's just like the perfect size for this space. It is an interpretation of a photograph that Chris took while he was traveling in Dubai while he was working as a pilot. And it's just fun because it's a desert with a security camera. It's kind of odd, and so are we. The railing is original, and so are the floating stairs, which we'll see a little bit more later. And what's nice too is they're so wide, so like you can get things up here easily. Because I find staircases these days are very narrow, whereas this was like a statement.
I love this vignette of the chair with your art as well.
We actually got that chair at the Aberfoyle Antique Market. We go at least once a year, but we got 2 of those. The other one's in our bedroom. But yeah, it's kind of like a Southwestern theme going on down there. Our bedroom has that vibe too, you'll see.
The other thing that you can see from up here, which we'll get to, they have in total mid-century fashion, a very vibey bar downstairs and the original green shag carpet. I know you recently got something that's exciting.
This amber bottle glass partition, we're gonna make it into a tension pulled divider. We're talking with a local company right now, and they're gonna drop some plans and a quote for us. So that's one of our latest things, but that's not even the latest thing. The latest thing is our space age smoky lucite lamp. And then one of my all-time holy grail items that I got was the mom fireplace. But for now it's my plant stand and it's where Elf lives. That's part of the Dink lifestyle. So this is actually a gift from Chris. He let me choose a gift, I think it was for one of our anniversaries. I really wanted a lava lamp. It's not vintage, but it's got like this retro lines going. I turned it on 2 hours earlier so that it would be running for you guys. This is a 70s IKEA chair. So we'd been thinking about getting an Eames chair, but they are so expensive. And we love the worn look. It's just super comfortable. We kind of take turns. We don't fight over it, but it's like, can I have it tonight? We picked this table up too. This is RS Associates, which is a Canadian company in the 60s. We'll probably get it refinished a little bit. It's got some marks, but it's in pretty great shape. The track shelving is another like holy grail item for us. And we actually have a cabinet that goes with it that was in horrible shape that's being refinished right now. And I have a really fun contact paper I'm gonna put in the interior of it. It's like pink cowgirls. When Chris and I started dating, he was in a hotel in Indonesia and he kind of like just happened to be in the same hotel that Harrison Ford was at. And I remember I was like, you need to get a photo. But he did it because he was trying to impress me probably. And it's one of my favorite photos. And the other cool thing over here is we have these little shoes that I got. They're like plastic shoes. They even have like little laces on them. But the man that I bought them from at Aberfoyle Market said that in the 30s and 40s, you would go to the shoe store and if you were buying shoes for your dad, they would give you these placeholders to give him on his birthday, and then he would come in and then hand the shoes back to the shoe salesman and he would give them the real shoes.
Didn't know that. It's like
cool so I'd never heard that before, so I thought they were super cool. I'm obviously obsessed with John Hamm. John Hamm is a beautiful man. Chris thinks so too. And he just shook his head at that. There's this guy, Retro Gimmick, who makes action figures of like almost anything, and he had made a Joe Strummer one for Chris. So I was like, oh my god, I would love a Mad Men one, and for Christmas he got me Don Draper, and he's even holding a little cigarette.
So if you had a tip in terms of like finding all of the pieces or all the vintage things, what's your hottest tip?
Go on it too much. be on Facebook too much. And then the algorithm learns what you like by clicking on vintage things or searching for vintage. So then you're shown more of that style.
Okay, one of my favorite tips is it's Google reverse image search.
Oh, yeah. If I have a photo, I just click lens and it'll search the entire internet for me.
Yeah, so if you can't find a source of something, I honestly just take a screenshot and then I reverse image search it. And that is my hottest tip for finding stuff.
But that's how you can find good stuff, yeah. Here we have the bathroom. I love the original, like kind of the buttery yellow, but it's speckled still.
This whole bathroom is like eye candy. I've seen this tile in a restaurant recently. I love a colorful bathroom.
Me too. But this also was one of Chris's birthday gifts years ago. He used to have a Guelph art that he loved. And he had talked about doing a house illustration, because I followed a bunch of house illustrators online, and he was like, what if we pretended we lived in California? So we put palm trees and stuff.
I didn't even notice. It looks
like
it fits in California.
Yeah, we wish we lived in California.
Okay, I feel like I don't often see you posting the floor.
I will occasionally do like a fashion moment on the floor, and I like fan out my hair, pretend. I like to have little photo shoots, it's just fun. But we're gonna keep this vanity, and I want to show you the inside, because the inside shows that it's actually really nice.
Oh, okay.
So we're gonna have it stripped.
You are stripping this too?
Yeah, but we're not personally stripping it. But it's because I love the counter. It's got this like amazing counter. We'll probably change the sink, which is obviously updated. But I'm thinking I keep the yellow, but do it in a different way. Like I want to do the square tiles, but probably do mustard.
Ooh. And where would you find the updated version of this tile?
Fire clay tile in the States has like amazing colors and shapes. And they did say that they work with Canadians, because I reached out to them a long time ago.
This isn't the reason I get samples, but I like using tile samples, like when they're square, as coasters.
I've heard of that too. You put some foam on the bottom, or not foam, but like
little
felt
cork.
Yeah.
And then that makes a really cute coaster. And I like painting the rim if it's got like a straight edge, and that makes like a really unique coaster.
That's cute. We probably will try to find a colorful toilet. I think that there was a company that came out with a bunch a few years ago.
I think it's Kohler.
Yeah, yes, it was.
They're not cheap though.
Oh, of course. The other art that we have on the wall over by the dog beds is an illustrator called Double Vision. And she kind of illustrated the more famous Richard Pagani house, who's the architect of this house. It's a barrel roof house that's in this town, and it's so gorgeous. It was his own house. And I messaged her and I asked if she could illustrate our house too. And then she said, what do you want it to be titled? And I said, The Other Pagani House. And if you go really close to, she also illustrated Summit in the window.
The dog's in the window?
Yeah.
That is such small detail. I love it.
I know.
I love it.
So Summit's portrait was done by a woman who died a month later in a car crash. It was so sad. And I said, I don't want anything similar to it. So I went the complete opposite way. And there's a Kitchener artist I'll have to get the name of. I said I liked vintage, and she came up with the babushka, and that's fine by me. Also, like, I hate that I don't see it all the time. So the biggest thing we're doing when we do the bathroom is putting a pocket door.
I love that.
Yeah, because this door's always open.
So you can see the dog art.
Yeah, the dog art's important. So in here we have the bathroom. It's kind of like really small. It's funny because we have like the largest bathroom ever over there, and then the smallest ensuite. But at the same time, like in the 60s, ensuites weren't really popular. They weren't really that much of a thing. So we're lucky to have one. It just doesn't work. We can brush our teeth here. The razor disposal is something that I was so obsessed with when we moved in. I just can't wait to find razors in the wall. I just think it's so fun, and I'll probably like put them in a little shadow box in here.
That would actually be really cute.
Yeah.
So you're moving the sink
to the basement. Which was currently our punk bathroom. It's very like, looks like it would be in a punk venue. It's got like cement blocks, which we're not gonna cover. We kind of like it. And then like that peach sink will stand out so nicely. Fell in love with Edie. I named her that. That's not her actual name. Like a year ago, the vintage shop in Kincardine Unearthed, she's been in there the whole time just against the wall. And I'd always look at her and think she's such a pretty piece of art. And then I was over there and she was like out, and I was like, what, they're trying to get rid of her? And I was like, how much is she? And they were like $40. I was like, she's mine. I'm obsessed with her. I think she's so beautiful, but Chris does not get it. He just does not think she's cute. And I had her up there in the entryway, and he said that he didn't love that. So I compromised by keeping her down here because I still love her against the terracotta and it bringing out the reds in her. And what's cool too, I wonder if I can see it. Like, she's even painted on the back.
What? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That,
it's such
you
a
never
cool piece of
see
art.
that.
I know. And then we've got like this 80s Art Deco revival kind of lamp going on. I had it in my office, but it didn't give enough light. I was gonna get rid of it and I put it here to take photos, and Chris was like, it's kind of a great bar lamp. So we kept it.
And you love flamingos, right?
I do, yeah, I love flamingos. So the plastic ones, I even have, for Halloween, I have bone version of skeleton flamingos that go in the garden.
Outside?
Yeah.
So you switch your flamingos
I
for
do,
Halloween?
I do. I kind of want to get them Santa hats and keep them all year round.
And you have a flamingo tattoo.
Yeah, it's on my ankle. And then these came with the house. Chris hates them. I like them.
I love them.
I love them too, but he calls he calls this grandma core. If it's like a certain floral pattern, he just doesn't like it. And they go so well with the green shade carpet. And the star of the show, it's Summit.
Yay!
Yay, Summit, you're beautiful.
This reminds me of like an outdoor patio.
So this has like some fun stories for some of them. Like the bench is actually a bowling bench from a bowling alley in Peterborough, and I bought it in an auction for $75. And it still has gum underneath, and I'm leaving it there because I think that's fun. Maybe I'll tell people like, oh, I put something under the seat, and then they'll like feel around, and then they'll be like, yuck. This is of an Instagram person that I follow. I like asked her if I could paint her photo. I like doing that stuff too, and I want to do more. I have a ton of canvas. I just need to paint more. So Chris turned 40 last year, and his midlife crisis was buying tons of cacti, building a greenhouse, and getting a ton of tattoos.
They're pretty big cacti out there.
One of the large ones we got on Facebook Marketplace.
I was gonna ask
Everything
you.
relates back to Facebook Marketplace for me.
One we have in there.
Yeah.
I think the lady you bought it from said it was about 27 years old.
Yeah, and that was 3 years ago. Summit, you're such a cutie.
Hey, thank you. You're so sweet.
She's not much of a kisser.